not a beautiful, single, eligible man in New York City, please keep scrolling. Single New York City lady here, and I just want to know, where are you hiding? I know you're out there, and I know you're not on Hinge. I know you want to go on a date, and to be completely honest, so do I. So we just want to know, where are you? And if you want to go on a date, let me know, because it is rough out here, bro.
I have a little
Nice. She ends it with, it's rough out here, bro.
Know, where are you? And if you want to go on a date, let me know, because it is rough out here, bro.
Nice. Very desirable. You know, she starts off that clip and says, if you're not a beautiful, eligible man in New York City, keep scrolling. And I would tell her, if you're not a beautiful woman, turn off your camera.
Story for you. So you reach a certain age, you're kind of invisible. It's just the way it goes. I'm okay with it. I don't need people to see all the travesty that goes on in my life. Yeah. Okay with being a little bit invisible.
As a 40-year-old woman and someone who's been married twice, you are in a relationship and you're not married yet, this is advice for you. Pick the nice guy. The guy who's dorky, but in a good way, who's gentle, who's not obnoxious, who doesn't overly post or even post at all on social media. They're always going to keep you happy. They're going to take care of you. They're put your feelings first. I know it's in the moment and you're young and it's fun to pick somebody who's a little bit out there, who's love bombing you. Those are all red flags. And you're probably thinking oh, I'm going to be bored or he's boring. It's better than the alternative. Boring is good. It takes a mature person to realize that, pick the boring guy. When I was younger and in my 20s and early 30s, I didn't think that. So you're single and you are trying to settle down or be serious with a guy or get into a serious relationship with a guy, pick the one that is boring or that's too nice. I promise you that's what's going to keep your household at peace. It creates a peaceful environment.
Wow. I mean, this woman is a piece of work. Listen, in the beginning of this, she said, pick this guy because he's always going to put your feelings first. And then she goes on to say, she just said that this is how it's going to be a peaceful environment. As long as your feelings are always put first and above his own, it will be peaceful. And this just tells you a lot about this woman. She is a piece of work. She is the problem, because if she's in a relationship where her feelings are not constantly being put first, and she doesn't have this simp constantly prioritizing her and pedestalizing her and giving her all the leverage, giving her all the power, then it's going to be a problem. And she goes on here and says, basically, pick the simp. I'm 40 years old, been divorced twice because I suck. And so what's actually happened and what I've realized is that I can't seem to make a relationship work unless my feelings are constantly prioritized. I can't seem to make marriages work because it's never peaceful because I'm choosing men who don't constantly prioritize me. And so, ladies, what I've found is if you pick a simp, you pick a nice guy, and I mean, how messed up is it that modern women conflate a nice human being with being boring? I mean, that's a problem in itself. Whatever, but it's just yeah, I mean, you're obviously the problem, and you need the power. You have to have the power because you're not a submissive woman. A lot of these women have become so masculine that they actually expect submission from men. Not only are they not willing to submit, and I guess when you have two people, you have a man and a woman in a relationship, it's impossible to have an equal amounts of submission, right? There is going to be a more dominant person inside of that relationship that expects more submission from the other. It's impossible to have an equal. And when you start getting to compromise, of course, in modern day relationships, there's a lot of compromise because we don't have women willing to just outright submit. So a woman expects compromise, whatever. That is what it is. That's an objective reality of most modern relationships. Compromise. But what it actually seems like, man, is that most of these women expect submission from men. And ironically enough, a lot of men have complied. Happy wife, happy life. She's the boss. I mean, it's crazy how it's flipped. And now really we just have a bunch of men submitting to women rather. So here she is saying, hey, listen, ladies, what I've found that works is find a submissive man, because I'm so fucking rebellious. I'm so non-compliant. I'm so masculine. I'm so dominant that, for one, I'm not attracted to women. So I guess if I'm going to keep dating men, I have to find a nice, submissive man. And oh, by the way, I'm a modern woman who conflates a nice man with being a submissive simp. I mean, that says a lot. So here's what works. Go do it.
How old do you have to be then as a woman to be considered a leftover?
I think around 30, like after 30 years old. But if you're after 35 years old, then just you're out of the market. You know, it's more like you don't have to consider about getting married anymore. Just to maybe have a child on your own is the best way for you.
Dating tip over 50. Don't go in with any expectations. Then you can't be let down. You shall see how it goes.
So, I just want to be a wife to the right guy. That's it. Why is that so difficult?
Then you can't be let down. You shall see how it goes.
So, I just want to be a wife to the right guy. That's it. Why is that so difficult? Everyone is out here, oh, I'm the one for you. And then flip of a switch, they just fucking change to this horrible person. Why? I honestly don't get it. It shouldn't be this difficult to find your person. And then to find a person that actually wants to be a husband. There's boys out there, and then there's men that actually want to be a husband.
Here's what I think what happens with a lot of these women. She's saying like she just wants to be a wife. My question would be, is this something you've always wanted, or is this new? And are you now trying to like speed up the process, and you're like running into a bunch of men, you're trying to go through this 0 to 100? And is this why you're having such a hard time? Because if it's really something you've wanted since like you were a little girl or something, there have been plenty of men you've ran into that would have offered this. Or if you had a relationship in high school or whatever, or even in your early 20s and you've always wanted to be a wife, you could have expressed this to him. I'm sure you've had long-term relationships. So what I think is happening is, and not just with her, but these women start getting closer to 30, and they understand that at that point, it's kind of downhill from there in the looks department. I'm not saying they're useless or whatever, but it's like, yeah, you hit 30 from there, it's kind of downhill. So I think maybe she's like 27, 28, 29. She understands that truth. And now she's trying to speed up the process of finding a husband. And it's just not working out because she's trying to rush it.
I am 65 years old, or years young, if you prefer. When I turned 50, I became invisible. Not all at once. Didn't realize I was fading from view. But I'd become a middle-aged woman of no distinction. I was no longer reflecting light. I felt like a ghost.
Most men want to date a woman that's at least 10 years younger than them. After 45, for some reason, that just seems to be like a crazy thing. 45-year-old men want to date a 35-year-old woman. So let's see, I'm 60. That means the only people that are looking at me on the dating apps are 70 and older. Now, please understand, my dad is 80. So just 20 years apart between me and my dad, and I just don't want to do that.
Well, I don't really understand this. I don't understand it. Just because there are things about these men in the dating market that might be close to your dad. But like you said, your dad's 80, and then you are talking about these men being 70. Well, it's not even the same age. But even if it was, who cares? Like, yeah, there's probably things about these men that are also similar to your father. Is it just because these men are like your father in certain ways you don't want to date them? I actually have observed the opposite. It's like women, if they have a good relationship with their father at least, they want similar things in a husband or a boyfriend that are like, that mirror their father. So I don't know. I don't even understand this.
You know what kind of man I like? I like those handy, manly men. The ones that fix and take care of things around the house. Yeah, that's my type. Sir, drill me next.
One thing that I definitely hear about this age, women in this age, right, is they start to feel invisible. That sense of feeling culturally irrelevant. If we keep talking about this stage of life, the middle of life, as some sort of ending, instead of maybe an ending that has a new beginning, we lose the incredible brilliance and wisdom of people at this age.
Yeah, and then this is, what is she trying to do here? It's another form of like women wanting to normalize things. This is just a woman rationalizing her getting older and becoming less pretty, I guess. And so it's really incredible to see the hoops these women will jump through to rationalize them getting older and losing the beauty they had at 20 years old. So, yeah, I mean, it's like, just accept it, but we don't need to create these movements. It's just like, yeah, okay, you're getting older, right? That's going to happen.
Lose what more days on the planet give you in terms of experience.
From 27 to 29, I was fully in my bag. I just wanted to make as much money as I could. I wanted to buy my house. I wanted to invest money. I just wanted to hustle. And since turning 30, I have nothing left. I have nothing in me anymore. I want to fully be a trad wife. I want to be stay at home. I want to have some kids, have a cute little family. I don't care about anything else. Did something switch in my brain? Like, what happened?
And I don't know, I could just be hormonal. Maybe that's why I feel this way currently. But right now, all I want to be doing is nesting. I want to make my home beautiful. I want to cook really delicious, beautiful, nutritious meals. I don't know. But I'm in it for the long haul. A lot of people have seen my butt. Like, I kind of can't quit now. Also, it's so difficult to walk away from that kind of money, you know? I don't know. It's a lot of inner turmoil. I don't know. Maybe I'm going through my Saturn return. Maybe that's what this is. I hope so.
This is called hitting the wall.
So let me get this straight. Oh my God. Where to begin with this woman? Holy shit. So she's 30 years old and she's been on OnlyFans. And now she wants a family and she wants a provider. Nope. That's all I have to say to that. No, you don't qualify. Sorry. Just a no. Absolutely not. This is what's so crazy to me. These women, you would think that as women become their own providers, because that's what we're seeing a lot. Women can work. Women can make money. They can pursue a career and they can make good money. So they are their own providers. And yet what we see a lot of times, they want men who make more money than them. What the hell? What's the point? You're your own provider now. This is what women wanted. This is what you have wanted because you've got it. And yet we see women expecting men to make more money than them. Well, what do these men get? Because what you used to get as a man when you were a breadwinner or a provider, you used to get authority. You used to get submission. And so what do these men get now for being a breadwinner? Like, what do they actually get? What's the incentive? You don't get anything. But these women have their own money, and yet they still want a breadwinner? So they're just getting the best of both worlds. They get to make their own money. They get to have their own autonomy. They get to be their own person of authority. Oh, but then they also get to have a man who makes more money than them. What the fuck is that? What's the point? And what we continue to see actually is that these women still expect chivalry. They still expect protection. And they even expect a man to still be a provider. Oh, but they're also providers. But they just want him to be more of a provider than them. So yeah, I mean, they expect all these things. They expect these men to have all this responsibility, but no authority. they don't submit. That's the problem. Why should they have responsibility over something they don't have any control over?
I got a hate comment from a self-proclaimed happily married woman calling me a leftover woman because I'm in my 30s and not married. The term leftover woman comes from China, and it compares single women in their late 20s to that of leftover food gone bad and nobody wants them. So medieval. Now what we're not going to do here is pit married women and single women against each other because that's really weird. But if you're in your 30s and you're not married, know that I'm right there with you, and comments like this don't bother me, and they shouldn't bother you either.
No, they obviously bother you. That's very, very clear.
You are so much more than your relationship status, and your value is not defined by whether or not you're in a marriage.
My mom just shared with me her theory of why women in their 40s are the most attractive. So I want to know what you guys think. So she said something to the effect of, in your 20s, you are young and bouncy and you have a great body, but you haven't really solidified who you are as far as your beliefs, your values, where you're going in life. In your 30s, you're trying to do that, right? You're trying to become who you want to be and at least have it figured out more than your 20s. But in your 40s, there's this confidence. There's this, I got it. I don't care about a lot of things anymore.
Oh, gosh.
And
man.
hopefully I'm where I want to be. And then in your 50s, is where you start to become what my mom says is invisible, which is really interesting to me because she and several other people that are in their late 50s, 60s have told me that women of that age become invisible to others. So is that a thing? This is the first time that I really talk about it other than people casually mentioning that to me. But why do you think that is? And do you agree with my mom's theory?
Partly. And if women were really as attractive in their 40s as they claim, why do they struggle so much to attract men or the type of man they want?
Well, I mean, I think it's hilarious that she said her mother told her this, that women in their 40s are most attractive. And then she goes on to say, well, the reason they're not most attractive in their 20s, yes, they're young and they're bouncy and they're beautiful and they have attractive bodies. That's all true. But the reason they're not the most attractive is because their values and their belief system isn't complete, as if it ever is. I mean, I would say that most people, their values and their belief system might not be as strong as they think it is. And I've had to do a lot of reflecting on my own values and belief system. And, this is someone who I create content, I say things, and so I want to make sure that they are legit and logically sound. And so just because you're a 40-year-old woman, it doesn't actually, in my opinion, it's not actually true that, your values and beliefs are strong and solid. I don't really think it changes that much from 20 to 40. There's some change for sure, but it's no, they're obviously most attractive in their 20s. Again, this is a woman rationalizing things. Oh, we're actually 40-year-old women. Actually, 40-year-old women are the most attractive. But I'll grant it that as we reach our 50s and 60s, yeah, we do become more invisible. No, that's definitely true, of course. But also, of course, women in their 20s are most attractive. It's just a fact.
I think women over 50 are doing pretty damn good. We know what we want. We're confident. We've been through all the bullshit. Pretty direct and forward. Basically, we've been around the block a couple of times, and we know exactly what we don't want. And yet, we are just being bashed left and right. I see it all over this app. I see it in my comments all the time. When did this age-shaming thing, become a thing? When has ageism really it's so prevalent right now?
Well, I think it's funny, right? Because men experience ageism pretty early on, actually. They're told that they're immature, and that's exactly why women their age don't want them. So what we often see and what we experience is women our age dating older men because they're more mature. Or you can even dive into the financial expectation for men, which never goes away even as they get older. But, you're told that as a young man, you're not mature, you don't have your shit together, you can't lead a woman because you're too young or whatever. We're told very early on in life that it's for those exact reasons women don't want us. So get your shit together, become more mature, become more experienced, become more seasoned in life, and then maybe a woman will want you. Whereas when women get older, that's when they experience the agism. So for men, they experience agism, if you will, early, very young. And then women experience it later in life. So I think it's funny. She's hit the wall, basically, and she's like, wait, ageism? I didn't know this was a thing. Well, welcome to reality, woman.
Men, there's literally only one thing that women want you to understand, and it's this.
Oh, just one thing? And what is that one thing?
You doing something because we've asked you to do it is not the same thing as just doing the thing.
Do explain, because I think there's going to be a lot of people that are confused by this.
So if you're the kind of guy that says to your wife or girlfriend, hey babe, yeah, just like whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. Like whatever cleaning you need help with, just like tell me what to do. I get where you're going with that.
Woman, be quiet. You're the one who wants it. So go do it yourself then. Don't expect men to be mind readers. You're so ridiculous. This is so... No, I'm not going to let you talk anymore. I'm done with you. Hey, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to end the video there. How ridiculous is that? And this is literally what it is. It's great that you do something after I mention it to you, but what I would prefer is that you're a mind reader and you want things done the exact same way I want it. So stupid.